veterans there. As the Newcastle Knights get set to take on the Gold Coast Titans, and we're off and we are running. And it's Big Tino first to carry things forward. Well, the Titans have had so many good starts this year. A couple of big losses from big leads this year with Jared Wallace now. Dolphins bound, of course. His 6th and final year here at the Gold Coast. They haven't won here, the Titans, since 2016. Isaac Liu, his first year here on the coast from the Roosters, of course. Leaders not really coming here at the moment. Sam McIntyre, now a regular starter, with Dave Fafita just warming back into the 17 tonight. Liu, his second hit up. They can't quite get it to halfway, but they do make it to the end of their set, the Titans. So Sexton goes long, pretty innocuous kick, and Hoy has been in the fullback role a couple of times this year. In fact, that last win here in Newcastle was when Hoy was the fullback. Dominic Young, he's been a shining light for the Knights this year. He seems certain to go to the World Cup. The only question, will it be for Jamaica or England? It's Daniel Saifidi back from injury. So comes across now for Tyson Frizzell. That's a good powering run. They're over halfway and still a couple of tackles left. Randall goes the short side. Milford linking up with Gagai, looking sharp. Just held down. Zhu involved along with Kelly, an important tackle. This won't be an easy one. Zarko, though, with confidence. But the Titans have some work to do, stuck in their own 10.
Yeah, it was a really good set from the Titans. They got up to the opposition's 20-metre line and then just put a kick in more to get field position and make the Titans come out of the corner, but a real positive start for the Newcastle Knights.
And as the Titans do struggle to bring it back here and make meaningful territory, let's go to Jake Duke on the sideline.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. Cold and wet conditions down here on the sideline, as you mentioned, but thankfully the rain has held off over the past half an hour or so. There is a fairly decent breeze coming from right to left of your screen, which will favour the Knights here in this first half. And the Knights have actually won 3 straight games against the Titans here in Newcastle. The last time the Gold Coast won in Newcastle was actually back in 2016, so the home fans who have braved these conditions. There's a great take there by Edric Lee, hoping that that continues.
And a penalty to boot. Well, Edric Lee almost made a complete meal of that, but then somehow pulled it in. Gets himself in an awkward position with Tino. But it's the Knights that have certainly started the better here.
Yeah, and it all come down to the kick pressure that they got onto the Titans kicker, Toby Sexton. There was a chase from marker and then a chase from the A defender and put him under a lot of pressure. He had to run to his right, and the ball was caught on the 40-metre line. They get a penalty. Now they're into good ball early on in this half.
Knights starts have been a real problem. They've only scored first 4 times all year, but a real chance here. So comes to Clune, back in the half-back role. And Clemmer just marching it upfield. 3 needed to stop him. Clark conveniently slow in getting away. Milford now out the back to Hoy. He goes himself. Oh, he gets there, but they get underneath him.
Oh, there was an opportunity lost there. I think if Tex Hoy had had a chance again, he might have got that through the hands. There was men marked outside of him. He just couldn't catch and pass.
So play restarts with some tackles remaining here. Man to Clemmer. Oh, man got a little fingertip.
6 more!
But 6 more tackles off Titans' hands. Clemmer. Try line in front of him. It's Randall dummy half. Clune back to Daniel Saifidi. Charging at the line. Randall looks right, but comes left. Where Clune onto Hoy. Hoy again taking the line on. Titans not too troubled so far by this. Short side play. Barnett well read by the trio there for the Titans, leaving Newcastle with just 1 tackle. Comes down for Clune. Kelly taps it backwards. And that's going to turn out to be Newcastle ball. So a set that didn't really ask too many questions gets the right result at the end.
Yeah, it didn't ask a lot of questions, but they're just feeling their way, Newcastle. They didn't push too many passes in that set. It was pretty tidy. I think they like their chances over on this left-hand side with Barnett and Tex Hoy out the back of it, holding up the halfback on this side. They're going to get some joy.
So early test here for the Titans. We last saw them Coffs Harbour against Cronulla a fortnight ago on a Saturday afternoon. Newcastle, they lost an absolute heartbreaker to Canberra. Rallied from 14-0 down, led 18-14 and then conceded near the death. Daniel Saifidi. That's a good, powerful surge, almost to the 10. That's his 4th run already. 6 more tackles as well. It comes away here for Tuala, who almost lost that into Izako, and in fact, that is exactly the way Adam G sees it. So that is a huge let-off for the Titans.
Yeah, and some good defence. They come up and in on that edge. If Tuala just gets a little bit deeper and doesn't come onto the ball so hard, he might be able to get a pass away and put Edric Lee away. They're definitely getting some joy.
Chris Butler, our referee tonight, is could have been challenged by the Newcastle Knights, but obviously Tuala content that it was an unfortunate but correct call. Unfortunate for him. So a little bit of resilience there by the Titans. Newcastle, number 16 in attack this year. Couldn't crack them there. The tank Marju. Bo Fermor in that extended Queensland side for game 2. For Wallace, the early ball for Asur Ma'alawi. Falls on his front. Tidy play the ball. That gives Brimson a chance. Quite evade the markers. Titans yet to have a single tackle in Newcastle territory. As it comes down to Turner. Likes running Paul Turner. All the time in the world for Brimson to set up one of these awkward kicks. Oh, it's a good catch by Hoy. The wind may have played a role in that, but Hoy did not panic.
Yeah, that was a tough kick to catch. Under pressure, wet conditions, he stood his ground. It was a good take.
Go back, on 2.
So time on. That's a great take by Hoy.
Isaac said together. Jared, yep. Hold in, wait.
Edric Lee, how wonderful this is. Less than 2 years ago, he was playing Origin until those foot fractures ruined his 2021. And he's back in business now, been part of the side for the last couple of months. So the Knights get through the set. They might get a little expensive on the last here. Milford puts up a high one for Dom Young. Can't quite get there with Marju taking that one just outside his 10.
He's been a great player, Edric Lee. Canberra Raiders, and he came to the Sharks, and he's been up here at Newcastle. Consistent performer, and a really good player.
500 days without playing. Those foot injuries. Still only 29 years of age. There's a fair bit of football left in him. Fermor. Tino. 3 men having to get involved. This is so often the case when Tino hits it up. Sexton with the kick. He hits the grass, and it's not a bad result.
Yeah, Newcastle realised that Toby Sexton's going to do most of the field kicking. They're getting a lot of kick pressure coming from Marker on both occasions.
So that's a good, powerful start to the set from Young. Followed up by Tuala. And a penalty. Chris Butler rewarding a penalty for the Knights here. So yet again, the Titans put themselves under pressure.
Yeah, 10 minutes in, and Newcastle have dominated field position. And they'll get another shot. This kick will go into the deep inside the Titans field. Gives them a really good opportunity to apply try line pressure again.
And a tough old year. Haven't seen many smiles on Justin Holbrook's face. Barnett already up to the 20-metre line. So lots of football at this northern end. Saifidi really has rolled his sleeves up in his return from that knee injury. He's clever. On to Frizzell. Ah, it's a strong one-on-one tackle. That was Turner. Excellent work from the 5'8". Now swung back to Hoy. Don't quite slip inside Sexton. They keep going left. It's shoveled across. Play on for Lee. And Lee couldn't do much with that, but they hold it and they get one more play. So Clune, we've seen this kick before. It's awkward. It's Young. It is a try. It's a Newcastle try to Dom Young. And that kick has proven to be most awkward for the Titans. Young pouring through and getting his 5th try.
Yeah, and it's a just reward for the Newcastle Knights side for being patient this first 10 minutes. They've completed their sets, they've kicked long, they get a penalty, they march up into their end, and the kick just goes over the top of the Titans players, and Dom Young in perfect position. Bit of a ricochet off the hands of the Titan player, but he's in the perfect position and he gets the ball down. And his form this year, at the start of the year, Dan, he was a bit off, but his form over the last 5 or 6 weeks has just rocketed.
He's certainly gaining in confidence, isn't he? Good ball runner from the back. He's quite imposing when he gets going. And again, that was Brian Kelly that was a little bamboozled by that kick and stuck the arm out. Cost them a line drop out last time. This time, it ends up being a 4-pointer. 5th try of the year for Young, and this is his 18th first-grade game.
Yeah, as I said, he struggled at the start of the season, adapting to the NRL, but he's got better week after week, and the coach has shown some great faith in him and knew what he was getting, and he's got just reward in the last couple of weeks.
So Hoy to do the kicking at the start of this game. And Newcastle cashing in on their superior start tonight. And may rue that one down the track. Tex Hoy, no goal, but Knights 4, Gold Coast 0. Here's Jake Duke.
Yeah, Newcastle capitalising on 94% of the territory. A clever kick from Adam Clune puts Dom Young over there. And we just see Jaden Brayley sitting there next to Adam O'Brien. The Knights hooker hasn't played all season, ruptured his Achilles in the pre-season. Just been told by Newcastle staff that they are hopeful that he will be back next week for his first game of the year. They take on the Rabbitohs on Friday night, and also Bradman Best, who's been out with a dislocated elbow for the past 4 weeks. He is set to return next week as well. So big boost for the Newcastle Knights in the next couple of weeks, and they get on the board here early.
Well, and Ponga obviously won't play next week because there's an Origin game, but well, it's a little late for the Knights, but starting to come together. Best was named in the extended squad tonight, but obviously still 1 week away. That's great news for Jaden Brayley. Chris Randall's done a very serviceable job in the 9 jersey, but it's a step up with Jaden Brayley. But here is Randall, who's played every game this year. He'd only played 12 in his first-grade career before 2022.
The challenge for Newcastle now is to do exactly what they did in the first 10 minutes. Don't play too expansive, get into good field position. Once you get down into the opposition's 20 metres line, play a bit of football. But why they were so good in that first 10 minutes, they just marched up the field, got to their kick.
And now Kurt Mann down the middle. Tonight, of course, we watch Penrith, the best team in the Premiership, go up against the Roosters, who have faded to 7 wins and 8 losses. They're going to have to turn things around, and no tougher assignment than Penrith at Penrith. Now that kick's a bit big, and that's a gift to the Knights. And you can see that wind playing a little role as well. Milford not quite getting that one right.
Yeah, he changed his kick style. He didn't go high there. He just went flat and long. And unfortunately, he's gone a metre or 2 over the dead ball line. 7 tackle set for the Titans.
And now here is a penalty with some offside defenders that Patrick Herbert runs at.
Dan, that's the coach killer. You kick it dead, they get a 7 tackle set. Tackle 2, you give them a piggyback out of their end. Now it's the Titans' turn to put some try line pressure onto the Knights.
And you can tell Shane Flanagan's a coach. He looked at me with a death stare as if I was the one who was offside.
You gave the penalty away.
Is Jared Wallace. Well, finally the Titans have... Oh, you wouldn't believe it. First tackle, and Jared Wallace puts it down. Now he wants to challenge. Can he talk his captain into it? Yes, he can. You want to get this right, Jared.
We've got a captain's challenge. Titans are challenging Nod for a ruling of a knock-on.
It's a fairly compelling appeal that Wallace put together there. He certainly seems like a man who's convinced he's been wronged.
He rallied the troops around him quickly.
Oh, no. Saifidi and Randall in the tackle. And has he
just looking to see which direction the ball comes out from Jared Wallace.
He's tried to offload that for me, Dan.
Well, the question is, did he drop it backwards? That's his only hope. So he's facing the correct way to try and get this decision.
Jared Wallace is attempting to pass the ball. The ball travels in a backwards direction. The challenge from the Gold Coast is successful.
He knew what he was doing, Jared. He knew what he was doing, and that's a big let off.
It's just a mindset for me that he just needs to get forward and get down. It's tackle one off a penalty. They haven't had any field position whatsoever, and they're trying to offload on tackle one. That's unfortunately why they're coming 16th in the competition.
So these are the first tackles the Knights have had inside Newcastle territory, and we're nearly at the 15-minute mark. Alawi, man standing his ground. Aaron Clark now. The quick pass for Turner onto Brimson. This is promising. Brimson coming back in, but held on to Daniel Saifidi. He's had a strong start, Daniel Saifidi. There's Isaac Liu charging at the line. Now Wallace to Sexton. He had a little look and he saw Edric Lee closing in, and Sexton can't quite shovel it on. And this time it will be a knock-on against the Titans.
Yeah, we saw similar down the other end of the field with the Newcastle Knights. Wet, slippery conditions. He doesn't get his first catch at it, and unfortunately comes up with an error. But there were some worrying signs there for Newcastle on this left-hand side. They had a two-man overlap if he was good enough to catch that pass and get it away.
Sexton, he played 4 games before this season in the top grade, and been the halfback every game this year. So the Knights now. They've lost it. This game has descended. Edric Lee dropping it. So Lee, who had such a hand in Sexton putting it down, cancels out his good play with a knock on. Well, I tell you, he could have challenged it, Shane. He could have challenged that, and he probably would have won it.
Yeah, just a little bit of a touch in as he rises to get to the play of the ball, but he didn't have a real good grip on that one as well. Gives the Titans a real good opportunity now. They'll probably shift to the right, have a shot at him on the left.
So Sexton is out on the right, but it's Brimson jumping out to the left here, bringing in Turner with Young spearing in to make an excellent tackle. So a penalty coming the way of the Titans.
Another scrum. They've called another scrum and they want to feed it again. They can take it either way.
Now, do we see the same play, Shane Flanagan, or will we see something different? This is the little game of poker.
Yeah, it is. Did they learn anything from that shot? Defensively, did they come up and in? Do we need to set deeper?
Young was certainly in, but he made an excellent tackle. And they do go left again, but this time a more conventional run. Brimson plays it. Alawi's going to fancy his chances. Newcastle a bit short on Clark's left here, and that's where he goes. Can they expose it? Oh, Kelly puts it down. It comes away to Turner, but the knock on from Kelly They knew it was on. The Knights rushing up on the outside and just put enough pressure on.
Shot clock's on.
Yeah, there was a lot of space on that right-hand side. And Gagai's experience, he got up and just settled, forced the error. If the pass goes to hand, they would have been in trouble, but really smart play from Dan Gagai. Get up, put some pressure on that ball receiver.
Heads down. Heads down. Shot clock off. Ball in.
You see, even with that little run for the Titans, all the territory essentially the other end of the field.
And it's just amazing the pressure that these two sides put upon themselves as well. Like, they're down the bottom of the table, we know. They both want to win desperately. And just the basic skills here, a few offloads, a few errors in the play of the ball, some penalties, not completing their sets. It just applies pressure to the whole team.
It's a good kick from Milford. Plenty of distance on that. So now the Knights back on the attack. Brazil hard to put away. Turner taking a tumble just behind the play there. Here's Milford. On to Clemmer. Wallace down low. Up top McIntyre. And Liu as well. Now comes to Milford. At the line for Saifidi, but pretty well read. Daniel Saifidi, yet another run from him. Inching closer. Clune on the 10. Back for man. Well read by Fernwell. Saifidi, little flat-footed, but he's going to have a dart here. Oh, and he gets within millimetres. So this is it for the Knights. Comes to Clune. Clune to Milford. Then to Edric Lee. Oh, so simple. It's a delightful Newcastle try. Somehow they've created numbers. And Edric Lee with a stylish finish. And Newcastle, they jump out to an 8-point lead.
Well, they've come down this left-hand side probably 3 times in this first half and haven't got it right. This time they give themselves some depth, and that's a beautiful pass across the face to Edric Lee, and he just dives into the corner. But some really smart play from the whole Newcastle side, realising that there's got some space, they've got some opportunities on this left-hand side. They just needed to adjust their type of play and their depth and their pass, and they got it right on the 3rd time.
So Edric here had a little bit of work to do. And nice contortion there, his 5th try of the year. So he joins Dom Young and Ari Tuala as Knights' top try scorers with that 5th try. That's a big moment, Shane Flanagan. In a game which doesn't promise a lot of points, it becomes a very handy buffer.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and it just goes to the Titans. They didn't apply hardly any pressure on the Newcastle Knights down on their end. They came up with an error early in the tackle count. And then once again, Newcastle really disciplined, marched up the field, get a penalty, get into field position and put their shapes on, but they learnt from the prior mistakes.
We saw Hoy miss a pretty gettable one a few moments ago. And that one, too much hook. So 8 points to 0. It's Newcastle over Gold Coast. Jake Duke, down to you.
Yeah, what a great ball from Anthony Milford. He's really starting to find his feet back in the NRL. He had a great game for Samoa last week, setting up a try. He sets up another one here with a peach of a pass to Edric Lee. And he's still unknown what he's going to be doing next year. Obviously, the Knights chucked him a lifeline, but he's non-committal on whether he'll be here at Newcastle next season. Obviously, there's talk about the Dolphins and rejoining with Wayne Bennett, who he spent a lot of time with at the Broncos. But it looks like Anthony Milford is getting more and more comfortable back in first grade and showing he still has plenty to offer.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jake. He's certainly got some years left in him. Just 27. Anyway, still no sign of David Fafita at this point.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many minutes David Fafita plays coming back from injury. The Titans have struggled a little bit with David to work out his times, even when he's played big minutes or he's been nice and healthy. Today will be interesting.
You understand their nerves. He came back after 3 weeks and injured that knee again, or picked up another knee injury. So That cost him a further 3 weeks. As Kurt Mann zipping across field. Here comes here to Clemmer. Geez, they sit back and yield some metres here. The Titans, this is a strong run. So now it comes to Milford. Nothing fancy with this kick. Just happy to pin Brimson in the 10. And Marju, even a man with his bustling capabilities, can't break the 10-metre line.
And Dan, that's all they need to do. You said nothing fancy. They don't need to be fancy in their end. When you're a side that you're not flying at the moment, and look, they've got look what they get
rewarded so quickly. Ryan Kelly's hands, boy, they've let him down tonight.
If you're good in your end and you get to your kick and chase well, more than likely there's going to be an error at some point. Just put yourself in the game, and Newcastle Knights have done that for 20-something minutes now.
Well, yet another chance of 20 metres out. So Kelly with, unfortunately for him, 3 of those 5 Gold Coast errors. Well, they scored a nice try just moments ago, the Knights. They'll like their chances of doing it again. Boy, jumping to the right, but he was a decoy. Clune onto Tuala. Over the 10 he goes. Herbert just getting off in time. Now Clune for Mann. Oh, Mann almost splits them. Tino just holding on with the help of Wallace. Knights looking a little sharp. All of a sudden, Clune's pass, and Lee has a quick-fire double. Untouched, Edric brings it around. And Newcastle are threatening to blow this game apart.
Yeah, well, this defensive edge for the Gold Coast Titans, they're all over the shop. They're spacing it around. They're not working together. Their wingers up and in. And the Newcastle Knights just come out here with shape. It becomes 3-on-2 and a beautiful pass in behind his lead man. Well, he actually doesn't even lead. He holds on his line, and it's a beautiful pass. Adam Clune times his pass in behind Azarko, and it's a well-deserved try to Newcastle Knights because they've been excellent coming out of their end and getting to their kick and kick chase.
So it was Milford with the peach of a pass before. This time it's his half partner, Adam Clune. Third time those two have been paired. Yet to taste victory, 0-2, but good stuff tonight so far. Clune has been the halfback most of the season, 11 out of the 15 games. And Edric Lee won't get too many easier than that.
And it's been a really good performance by the Newcastle Knights forwards. They've just carted it up. Clemmer's been strong. Safidi's been strong. 25 minutes in his first stint. Safidi as he comes to the sideline, and I think his brother's going to replace him. That's an excellent start.
If he misses this, we might have a problem. We might have to look elsewhere, but he's got a bit of kicking in the NRL, around the 60% mark. And he slots that one through, so 14 points to 0. It's Newcastle. Good lead now over the Titans. Edric Lee, the last time he scored a double, round 4, 2020 against the Raiders. He's done this in a matter of 4 minutes. He mightn't be done. He's got one hat-trick in his career. Well, he's got, what, 56 minutes to get another.
Yeah, and if the Titans don't fix up their right edge defence, he definitely will get another one.
54 minutes, my mates has let me down. Jake Duke down to you.
Yeah, just as that try was being scored, guys, David Fafita on there. You see him in that tackle there, on for the Titans for his first game since round 12. Can he make a difference?
It wouldn't have been the plan to have him on a 14-0 deficit, but we'll see what he can provide. He's Clement.
It's tough for a player like David Fafita with the way he plays the game to go on with the scoreline, and at this time, you know, does he have to go on there and break it open himself? He's just got to go on and settle into the game and just do what he does best, carry the football, but he doesn't have to break it open.
So now Milford, again, happy to go deep and give Marju no room to move, and they've done a good job on Marju. We've seen some of his running exploits the last few weeks, and now a knock on. Oh, we're watching a self-destruction. And this time it's Marju that mucks up the play the ball.
Now, even when you're a young kid, Dan, you'll be told in wet conditions, we haven't had any rain, but it did rain prior to the game, to stay away from sidelines and get a good kicking game and complete your sets. It doesn't change in the NRL. You just shoot yourself in the foot if you can't complete your sets, and the Titans twice now, the last 2 sets, turning it over on early tackles.
And giving up tries in pretty quick fashion as well. From the centre of the field, it comes from Randall to Clune. Early ball Gagai, grabbing across for Feta. And then eventually, there's a solid shot for McIntyre. Clemmer. Got by Tino. Tino came back, but Clemmer only 5 metres out. Newcastle looking for their 4th. Comes through to Milford. There's the floater. Young has to wait for it. Takes it. Oh, he might have just done it. Surely not. Dom Young has come from the clouds to plant that down in the corner. Right now it stands. And Newcastle have as many tries in 28 minutes as they have in their last 5 home games put together. Let's look at this replay.
Yeah, and it was that beautiful pass from Anthony Milford. It goes to Clune, Clune onto Milford, and then Milford just sums up the situation, knows there's space on the outside, at least 10 to 15 metres, and he still had a bit of work to do.
Yes.
That's a try.
That's a brilliant put down. We take it for granted now, but
Edric Lee on the left, him on the right.
it's a fair combo. So 4 tries, all the wingers, 2 to Lee, 2 to Young.
How disappointing for the Titans coach that, you know, we know how passionate Tino is and he's led this side, but at the moment I've seen no desire and hunger and passion from the Titans. They're not even getting through their sets.
Let's just lock this in first, Flano. Oh yes, he's definitely got that. He's held on to it. It's well inside the line. So Young gets his 6th for the season.
We talk about Anthony Milford before. He looks a lot fitter. He's working well with Adam Clune, and that was just a beautiful pass on the money, over the top. And Dominic Young had to do a bit of work to get to the corner. And as we said, he's just got better and better each week.
There's kick. Oh, it's better, but 1 from 4 now.
They still don't count, Dan.
I understand, but it's getting closer. Oh, you're such a hard taskmaster.
Well, we want him to, you know, if you're a Knights fan, you want him to go up by 6.
I understand, but they're doing well enough at the moment, aren't they? That was the first try. Young rewarded for pouring through, and this time really had some work to do. Kelly almost got him. Almost got him. 18 points to 0. I suppose we saw last night, poor goal kicking almost became crucial. What a bizarre game that was. Wonderfully entertaining with Manly over Melbourne. This is a great weekend on Fox League. Tonight, Penrith Roosters, and then tomorrow, we've pumped up the last 2 games for good reason. Cowboys, Broncos, the Derby, followed by South Sydney and Parramatta in the return on the trail. But that 3 o'clock game, Canterbury-Cronulla, has some attraction, certainly the way Canterbury are playing. And then Sunday, we've got the return of the Warriors back home. That's going to be some event when they take on the Wests Tigers, a sellout at Mount Smart, followed by St George, Illawarra and Canberra in a top 8, potential top 8 defining game. Both teams just hanging around that 8th position. So it's a ripping weekend on the way. As Clune here tucks in a kick. And that one's not going to set up. So second time the Knights have done that. Milford guilty a little earlier.
Yeah, really good set by the Newcastle Knights after points. They get up to the opposition's 40-metre line, and Adam Clune just put a little bit too much heat on that one, and it goes dead. But they get a set defensive line here. Now the Titans control possession and get to a kick.
And 6 from 11. completions. We've had 30 minutes. They've completed 6 sets.
Yeah, it's not good enough at this level.
And so many errors deep in their own territory. Fafita getting through his first run. Just his 8th game at the Titans in his 2 years here. 8th game in the top grade. For Asul Ma'alawi. Run number 6 for him. No for Awaka. And his Tongan test debut last week. Bumping it forward. And then the risky pass. No reward, but it could have been so much worse for the visitors. And they get themselves one last tackle. Not the easiest situation there for Turner. Feeder comes away with it. Well, that was miraculous, but Barnett just wanted it more.
Yeah, it was a poor set from the Titans. Tino actually carried the ball twice. He doesn't need to do that, and he gets an offload late in the set, and they have to scramble for a loose ball on the ground, and then the kicker wasn't really in position. The ball went up and down on the one spot, and Newcastle get a really good start from the 30-metre line.
You saw the VB hard-earned. It was a clean sweep. Top 5 all night. Dave Clemmer leading the way. He's got 9 runs for 94 metres under his belt, and their leading tackler with 14. That's a bit of leadership from him today. Now Clune, here for Tuala. He was their leading try scorer until half an hour ago. Now he's sitting 3rd of the Knights. On the last, Milford wants to concoct something here. Now this is going to set up, and Brimson didn't have a prayer. Milford chasing his own kick. Oh, they can smell the blood in the water here, the Knights.
Yeah, well done, Anthony Milford. He learned from the previous kick that he did that he kicked it dead by about 2 metres. He just taps this one into the end goal, makes AJ Brimson play it, chases his own kick. Really smart play.
So another dropout coming the way of the Knights. 7 errors from the Gold Coast. They're their own worst enemies, but the Knights have made them pay. That's the key to this scoreline. It's Jacob Saifidi off the bench tonight. There's Randall with a little dart inside the 10. Held down by Furmore. And also Fodawaker, but 6 more tackles coming. Oh, the Titans look susceptible on every play. Man almost getting there. There's Clune. Fires it out. Milford on. Gagai. Kelly. Oh, the pass. Doesn't quite find Dom Young as Gagai trying to get on the outside of Kelly and throw the pass at the same time.
Yeah, Gagai just flicks out the back, and it just goes over Dom Young's shoulder. As you said, Dan, the Titans defensive on the try line, they look very, very shaky. The Newcastle Knights know their plan. They're getting to their points, and their attack's been pretty good, especially down this end.
All right, Coach Flanagan, what are you saying to the Titans at half-time? Are we into spray territory, or is it beyond a spray? Oh, there's a strong tackle.
Well, that's spirit and courage and getting off your line and wanting to make a difference in Newcastle Knights. We need to see that from the Titans, and they get a penalty.
So Fafita was mauled, but the Knights just a little too energetic and caught offside.
Yeah, it's hard to say, Dan, you know, like what's gone on in the dressing room previously. You just can't go in there at week after week and give him a spray and hopefully that gets them up. You know, I probably think they're past that, definitely at this stage, and they just need to go back to basics, complete their sets. That's the biggest problem so far.
Last win was Magic Round against the Dragons. That was a Golden Point game, if you remember, in driving rain.
That's better. Just strong, powerful runs in and around the ruck. Get some field position.
Fodawaker there as now comes across to Turner. Here's Fafita. Again, numbers there to meet him. Suggestions he could play his way into the Queensland side if he has a barnstormer tonight for Feeder. Fodawaker this time caught a little flat-footed. Tino down the middle. Randall first to meet him. Last tackle coming. Turner, catch and pass for Feeder. Well, he's not a miracle worker day for Feeder, and a tidy pick-up down low from Hoy.
Yeah, good defensive set by Newcastle Knights, and you know, Fafita comes up with a kick on the end of it. I'm not quite sure if he was meant to kick, but the half tips onto him. It's probably all that he can do.
Forward. Jerome Luai, Steve Crichton, we're going to catch up with him just before the Panthers take on the Sydney Roosters. We'll have that at half-time with Hannah and the team back at the Clive Churchill studio. Oh, that is textbook stuff from the Knights. Brimson pummeled.
That's a beautiful kick by Milford on the front foot, gets a quick play of the ball, goes early, just punches it down into his right-hand corner, and the chase is just as good.
Stuck on his 20. This is tackle number 3. With 4 minutes to go in this first half. Not much to celebrate for the Titans so far. Sharp play the ball from Herbert. That allows Fermor to almost get it to halfway. And again, they end the set inside their own territory. Sexton was under a little bit of pressure there from Clune. Hoy, ooh, he fell into that and fortunately comes away unharmed. He took a little tumble. Oh, there's a strong shot. That was Fodawaker.
Adam O'Brien will be really happy the way his two halves have controlled the game, especially their kicking game. Both Adam Clune and Milford have had big parts of their kicking game and kicked really well. Both kicked one dead, but they learned from that. And then when they're down in good ball, their shapes and their execution has been tidy.
Milford now wears a shot from Herbert. This is the final tackle coming, so head to Clune. And then Herbert simultaneously got him, but a very nice kick as Brimson again has a defender in his face, but this time the wherewithal to get away from Frizzell. And now we've got a problem here. Bruce Butler calls a halt to proceedings. That's Tuala and Barnett. Tuala getting up, but Barnett taking a little longer.
And it just shows you there that Newcastle attitude. They kick down this left-hand side with Adam Clune. Tyson Frizzell is playing right side back rower, but he's over on this side of the field, 10 metres in, chasing the kick. They just want to get involved. They just want to do their part, and they're working hard for each other. And the scoreboard shows.
Mitch Barnett might have a visit with the HIA protocol as he's off to the Warriors. This is his last year here at Newcastle. Got that release in April. The Knights are going to have their first half-time lead since round 9. And Barnett gets a gentle round of applause. In fact, the Knights have only led at half-time 3 times all year. Coming into tonight, they are the worst first-half team in the Premiership, but not the case on this Friday evening.
Well, Adam O'Brien's half-time speech is easy. Just do exactly what you did in the first half. Don't push the pass in your end. Just run hard, get down, get to a field position, and let our two halves kick it hard into corners, either high into corners, and then just let's get our chase on and see if the opposition want to do that, go in that battle with you, which they don't at the moment.
Probably should do a Jack Gibson and not even show up. Let them do what they're doing. Go and get a hot dog. So, Titans with SSC. Look how hard he is to put away. But they hold their ground. SSC splashing off the reserve Leo Thompson. Now Sexton's got time to kick the belly of the ball here. That's as bad as testing as it's been for the men at the back for the Knights. Lee just swallowed it.
Just an important set here for Newcastle to go to half-time with a clean sheet. They don't want to give the Titans one last crack at them. Turn the football over in the bottom corner. and make a march up the field or go to half-time with a clean sheet.
Last time they did this was against the Tigers. They led 14-0 at the break. Hello, Clune has a little dart. Isn't he been full of confidence tonight? Both he and Milford. So man first receiver, Milford's kick, and Gagai steaming through. Brimson's got it covered, but again they're going to cut him off.
And Milford chasing his own kick, puts it into that bottom 10-metre corner. A really good chase. And now they make the Titans get behind the football. There's 3 or 4 of their middle forwards still aren't behind the football at the moment. Tackled 2 now. They won't be in position to tackle 3. They'll be looking for half-time.
This has been a clinic from Newcastle. The 10-12 minute mark, just a sprinkling of errors, but aside from that little dead spot, it's been just about perfect from the home side. Essie with the pass. Oh, turn it to Kelly. Kelly, well, he held that ball and got a pass on. Just when it looked like he was about to put it down. So with 20 seconds to go, we might get adventurous here. Tino. Oh no! It's to Tuala. Here's trouble. Tuala. Herbert chasing. Tuala not going to get there. They've got one play. Herbert's got to get off. Ref says fine. On the last, the kick. Lee! A hat-trick! Wonderful! Absolutely gorgeous from the Knights. Adam Clune fails to panic and puts it on a dive for Edric Lee. The perfect end to just about a perfect first half.
Yeah, Dan, you're 100% right. 21 sets are completed out of 24, and they've just put themselves in the picture. They get the intercept, and then some real smarts from Adam Clune. Didn't panic. The dummy half knew where it had to go to Adam Clune, and then his big winger out here, Edric Lee, just waiting for the kick, and it had to be perfect, and it was. On the money, straight into the breadbasket, and he scores a hat-trick in the first half.
Now let's just see what Zarko does here. And is that going to get the attention of the bunker? Edric didn't like it. 5 tries. As I said earlier, the last 5 home games they've scored a grand total of 4 tries across 5 matches. They've outdone that in 40 minutes.
Well, they're ranked 16th in points scored.
Yeah, 13 a game. So they've nearly, well, they've certainly surpassed that. And, well, he gets this kick and it's nearly double. So 22-0.
And Big Tino, unfortunately, he was the one that offloaded back on here on the 50-metre line, pushing the pass, and that's what the scoreboard pressure does to a quality player. Unfortunately, the pass goes to a Newcastle hands, and they get a try in the last second of the play. 9
runs for Tino, 82 metres. He punches out those stats every week, and look of resignation on his face. Boy. Well, that's the only thing they've done really poorly, that's the kicks at goal. But it won't matter tonight, it seems. The Newcastle Knights have finally given their fans something to cheer about. McDonald Jones Stadium, it's Newcastle 22, Gold Coast 0.
His Titans forward pack around to start their sets.
And here we go, second half begins. At McDonald Jones Stadium, Friday night footy continues here on Fox League. And it's Jacob Saifidi starting from the bench tonight with his brother returning. Newcastle, 5 tries, 5 impressive tries in that first half as they're looking for their 5th win of the season.
And Dan, it's tough this second half for the Titans. 22-0 down. They've got to play some football, so they've got to chance their arm a little bit. And unfortunately, with that, with slippery conditions, comes errors. So it's, damned if you do, damned if you don't sometimes.
Well, we saw that right at the end of the first half with a chancy pass, resulting in a Newcastle try 2 plays later, right on half-time. But they're the chances they've got to take. Meters again flowing for Newcastle. Clune's kick. Hang on, it's called a knock-on. Chris Butler says Zarko's dropped that forward. He seemed to contort his body in a way that would have ensured that it could only go backwards, but that is not the way the referee sees it. They do have a challenge, but they're going to accept this one. Yeah, that one would be very hard to overturn.
Yeah, at least it's gone sideways. And an awful start for the Titans. The Newcastle Knights just march up the field, and there goes that man again, Adam Clune, just happy to just keep kicking it into the corners, make them start from their end. And unfortunately for the Titans, they come up with a poor error.
Well, they've lined up all on the right side except Edric Lee, who jumped out as it comes here to the fullback Hoy. No Ponga, of course, and they're still putting on some sort of performance. Matt Croker, his 11th game of first grade, scored against Canberra in the midst of that stirring comeback, which ultimately fell short. Man to Clune. Clune out, it comes to Hoy, his pass knocked down, and it denies Edric Lee what would have been a fourth. But it may only delay the inevitable.
Yes, that left edge again, Tex Hoy. If he just changed his height of his pass above the arm of the defender, I think they score a try in the corner. But what they did really well in the first half is adjust, understand what the Titans defence was doing, and they adjusted on the run. A really smart play, and they got some tries from it.
Just been told the Roosters have confirmed Joey Manu will be the 5'8" for the Roosters tonight against Penrith. Coverage of that as soon as we're done here. So yet again, it's spun to the open side from the scrum.
My favourite player, Joey Manu.
Oh, what about that performance last week? It was a pass from Mann, almost put Jacob Saifidi through. It was a line baller, but given the all clear. Now Barnett against the grain. And ball has come out here and gone forward. So that's a let-off, and that's a rarity. The Knights, ever since they really mounted their attack midway through the first half, we haven't seen too much of this. That was a forward pass, so perhaps some poetic justice there.
Captain's challenge. For ruling is that Mitch Barnett's lost it into a Titans defender.
Seemed to be a long 10 seconds, Shane Flanagan, but here we are.
It was, and watching the replay quickly, it was hard to find where Barnett actually loses it onto a Titans defender. It must have been there just
when he hit Sexton.
Yeah.
But is there going to be evidence? Obviously, need evidence in his favour. We might get an inconclusive here.
Yeah, they'll still go with the decision of knock on, and the Knights will keep their challenge.
The ball is dislodged from Mitch Barnett's right arm onto the back of Toby Sexton. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, not even is it not inconclusive for the Knights. They lose their challenge. By the way, hello to everyone who was planning to watch the cricket and they're now watching the footy because the cricket ended early. It was incredible stuff in Gaul. 2.5 days and they went off for bad light when it was still sunny. Anyway, the Titans, there's a little reprieve for them as we go to Jake Duke on the sideline.
Yeah, Titans coach Justin Holbrook, he lashed out at his side's defence. No surprise there. He implored them to show some intent without the ball to try and turn this game around. Meanwhile, Adam O'Brien, the Knights coach, was really happy with his side's intensity and line speed and composure. He wants them to show more of that and remember to build this game again. Don't get complacent or carried away. And just a note on Mitch Barnett, guys, he passed his HOA, but he actually lost a couple of teeth in that first half. So he's out there playing a few teeth down, but still playing in this game.
Here's Esse. Happened to you, didn't it, Shane?
Yeah, a few times.
Turner passing to Fafita, but every time Fafita's had it tonight, there's been numbers there to bring him down pretty quickly. Here's the kick here from Sexton. And just sitting up comfortably for Hoy. Ooh, threatening. Bring Lee into it, but not taking the bait there was Fermor.
A really good game plan from the Knights. Some real pressure on the Titans kickers, and then on that occasion catching the football and be able to bring the ball 20 metres back. Where on the flip side, Newcastle are kicking high into corners, and as the catchers are catching the football, the defence is arriving. So really good tactics from Newcastle Knights.
Dominic, back wide on
He's
the
going
line,
to have
mate.
to walk that back here. Just the 2 set restarts in this game, but both belonging to the Knights. 3 penalties apiece. It's been the Titans' errors. That's been the difference, and some slick attack from the Knights, particularly from that man Milford dishing off. Oh, Randall, nowhere to go. And that gets the Knights to their final play. So Milford kicking, and it's not going to be so easy here. Although Azarko does well with Edric Lee trying to impose himself on that.
Even though it didn't go that deep, that kick, if we have a look at, there's still 4 Titans players still on their way back to get into position. And the Titans have to ruck it through their outside backs, and the Newcastle Knights defensive line just squeezes up because there's no chance of shifting.
Well, Justin Holbrook, it didn't work up in the box, so now down on the field to just try and change things up. There's a little short side play. Brimson moved back to fullback last week. Sexton under pressure, didn't get the cleanest pass. And Milford does well. Escapes Turner momentarily. Yet again, Newcastle start a set in pretty decent field position.
And straight away, all the Newcastle forwards are behind the football on play 1. Just such an advantage if you can get that kick, get some kick pressure on them, and obviously catch that football and bring it back to the opposition, which the Newcastle Knights are doing.
Barnett with teeth missing. Don't see that all that often. 10-metre gain there. Last tackle. Milford finds the grass. Marju careful. Oh, and he got into the field of play. Not a bad result again for the hosts. Milford, though, gets up with a little bit of a limp, although this is hobbling back into the line. Oh, look at this commitment. But too much. Too much from the Knights. Just too eager to get up off their line.
Yeah, Anthony Milford, a beautiful kick into the in goal, but Marju is such a powerful ball runner. He gets out in the field of play, and then tackle 2. Jump the gun, the Newcastle Knights defensive line, give a penalty away.
So there's Tino just watching from the sidelines. And if history's any guide, he won't spend long there watching on.
Just a bit of news on the Knights as well, guys. Kurt Mann has come from the field with a right leg injury. We'll keep you updated when we know more.
Okay, thank you, Jake. Simi Sasangi can certainly fill a role, but it'll need some readjusting as comes across now with numbers. Patrick Herbert puts the kick on. Sexton coming through, so is Azarko. They need the bounce. It's still alive. It's a try. It is a bizarre but much needed try for Tanner Boyd, although it's going up as no try.
No try. Just looking for a knock on from the Titans.
Well, Anari Tuala is going to watch this replay with his heart in his mouth. So here's...
We've cleared the Gold Coast kick chasers. We're just looking to see if there's any grounding.
Here's where the problem may be. Was that... Oh, there's no real knock on there, is there?
There was some great skill, a great kick there, back onto the inside for the chase.
So Sexton and Azarko coming through. Ah, there's a problem. There's a problem. So, yeah, they've got that. Good call from Chris Butler. It's just not their night, the Titans.
The right hand of Toby Sexton touches the ball and knocks the ball in the forward direction. We have decision.
So Newcastle ball, no try.
Yeah, there's some real nice lead up. AJ Brimson, a beautiful, nice little double pump, short ball to the outside to Patrick Herbert. Herbert shows some real speed down the outside, and then a beautiful right foot kick. See it here. Nice little double pump there, and Herbert goes down the outside, knows there's some people back inside. As he's getting tackled, gets a right foot kick in there, and unfortunately there's a touch by Toby Sexton, but that's more like it, Gold Coast Titans.
Some may have thought Sexton was offside, but the bunker looked at that and gave it the all clear, so comes down to the knock on.
They could just jag 2 quick tries, the Titans. The Newcastle Knights will be looking over their shoulder. Because of the goal kicking situation, they're back in the game.
Yeah, and they're not exactly full of confidence themselves. They are tonight, the Knights, but if they were to concede a couple, then it would give them something to think about. But they have to get the first one, the Titans. Well, that's a good run from Randall. And then SAS there with the twist. And Clemmer powering to halfway. Barnett straight into Boyd. SAS there, and the third down low. Thermal. What a terrific set again. Hallmark of their night. Now the kick from Milford. Bit of confusion. What a catch! Hoy! But he takes a tumble. How did they not score?
It would have been a fantastic try, young Tex Hoy. He only had eyes for the football, chases through really hard and gets a catch on it. Unfortunately, just trips over a metre before the try line, but it would have been a classic try.
We're into Rambo Ronnie Gibbs territory. It's Steve Gearin, and gee, did so well. Brimson there cleaning it up. Tex Hoy. Well, this is his third game at fullback, and they're threatening to have their second win. And now his beautiful footwork from Brimson.
It's causing him some trouble on both edges, Brimson, in the start of this second half.
Rushed up here, can the Titans expose it? Turn back inside for Kelly. Slipping inside for Zell. Now for Feeder, pushing away from Barnett. This is better. Oh, then just runs over Adam Clune like it was a bit of roadkill. That does get them to the last tackle. It's a pretty conservative kick here. Hoy. Well, one thing the Knights have done very well tonight, they haven't made errors in this part of the field, not since very early in the match.
Yeah, young halfback. That's a nightmare knowing that Fafita's coming your way. He skipped across the line. The young Clune would have been thinking, don't come this far. he comes right into him and just sits him on his backside.
Shut your eyes and hope for the best. So Young with a double. Edric Lee with 3. And Gagai almost putting Jacob Saifidi away. Lovely play the ball. Knights with a roll on. There's Barnett off the Milford pass. That's a knock on. So Barnett not having a wonderful second half so far. He's got missing teeth. He's made a couple of errors.
I barely caught the tackle and he's trying to play it, mate. That's why I took it. Where do you want it, boys?
Yeah, and the lead-up was so powerful. Some quick play the balls. Newcastle Knights just playing over the ad line. He gets a bit of attention over the top. It could have been a penalty either way. Toby Sexton just holds on a little bit and he doesn't get to place it down on the ground properly.
Gee, so often that is a penalty, isn't it? In on the ball in the ruck. But it's getting more broke.
The crowd agree with me.
Not many here, but they're certainly making plenty of noise. Can the Titans conjure something? Yes, they can. Here's Brimson putting the foot down and out of nowhere. AJ Brimson does what AJ Brimson does best. He just conjures a try that just gives them a little bit of life. 22-4.
Yeah, it's just a nice little scrum play, but it's just the speed of Brimson. He goes back underneath. There's a couple of arm grabs there, and he's just too fast for Tex Hoy. He gets around the outside of him. He is fast. He's got sharp feet. He's caused a lot of trouble in this second half, and it just shows here. He goes back under. Tyson Frizzell has a grab at him. He's just too fast and pushes through that hole. He's got some wheels.
Well, they've got a conundrum coming up in a few weeks. Jaden Campbell due back round 21, give or take, so that's what, about a month away. And obviously the reason Brimson went to 5'8" was to accommodate Campbell, but boy, when Brimson goes to the back, he could be lightning.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Campbell's such a dangerous player as well with the football. They need to score points, and Campbell's got that in him. He's so dangerous and he's brave. For me, AJ Brimson's best position is fullback as well, so they've got one big decision to make.
Well, after what happened last night at Brookvale, anything's possible. And it's 22 points to 6. The Knights well in front, but the Titans with the first points of the second half. Jake Duke once again down to you.
Yeah, AJ Brimson, his 4th game of the season at fullback, gets his 4th try of the year, and it becomes an even bigger decision next year when you consider the fact that Kieran Foran's coming in, has got to squeeze into this Titans spine as well. So big decisions to be made there in the fullback role. But just a little bit of an update for the Knights here on the sideline. Kurt Mann, you see him there on the bike pedaling out, trying to stay warm, but he's unlikely to be used again if needed. Not needed by the Knights. He's got some hamstring tightness and a cork as well, so unlikely to see him again.
Okay, thank you, Jake. Ooh. Gilmore did well, actually, not to panic. Well, the Titans, when they've had good periods this year, and they haven't been many, they've scored points in a hurry.
Yeah, they can score them in big bunches and quickly.
They can concede in a hurry as well, but they can certainly put it on in rapid-fire fashion.
Yeah, Newcastle, obviously with their form this year, unfortunately aren't that confident defensively. They've been good this game, but if their Titans can just apply some pressure to them, especially down on their end, some try line pressure, and then they start looking over at the clock, they start looking at the scoreboard, they can play with your mind.
That's Fermor there. I was a bit worried there, but seems to be okay. Well, they've gone up a cog here, the Titans. They've got so much ground to cover, though, as it's Clark now. Second receiver, shoveling it on. Boyd. There's the ball from Turner. Fafita, hello. Oh, Clemmer. Good work from the big front rower.
What's he defending out there for?
He's making sure that Fafita can't run at a little bloke. Now here's Clark. What's going on here? He's getting a few extra meters. That's what's going on. Sexton again goes end over end. He has kicked the belly of the ball once tonight. No problem for Lee. 3 tries. Hasn't seen much of it in the second half. Dweller.
Yeah, that man we spoke about, David Clemmer, had 11 carries for 114 metres, and we just saw he got caught on the short side, but he's had enough leg speed to get across and defend big Fafita going down that edge.
That was Patrick Herbert with an excellent tackle. VB hard-earned index. Clemmer was leading before half-time, and he's leading now, and gets an offload to boot. So Croken out of halfway. But Clemmer, they're pretty much par for the course statistics for him. He's averaging about 140 metres a game this year. Well on top as far as Newcastle forwards are concerned. Now, Milford does get the belly of the ball. And Brimson, he was nervous, but he did well.
Well, if you have a look at the Knights' starting front rowers, David Clemmer, 122 metres, and David Saifidi, 70 metres, compared to the Titans, Jared Wallace, 26, and Liu, 24. It's a massive difference.
And penalty. This game has changed momentum. It's the Titans as good as they've been all game right now. And the Knights starting to get a little frustrated, a little tardy.
It's been their season. That's what happens when you're not playing well and you haven't put really good performances back to back. Sometimes you forget how to win. The Titans in a good field position now. They need to complete this set or get points.
They score again from this, and we do have a serious game all of a sudden. So Isaac Liu. Boyd now, Fodawaker. Turner. Oh, Fafita. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders there. Clemmer again making sure He's got a hold of Fafita, with Frizzell doing a lot of the work. Fodawaker's got him backpedaling. And strong tackle around the midriff from Jacob Saifidi. Boyd, back to Fafita. Then the flick. Boyd! Chance! Marju! Game on! Well, from nowhere, the Titans have turned this into a contest. Marju collected on the way through. And here come the Titans.
Well, you called it, Dan, a lack of discipline. Marches the Titans up the field, and as that man, as you said, Fafita, carried the ball twice in the set. He's just so big and so strong. On the previous carry, he had 4 defenders getting into him really quickly, in and around his legs and wrapping the football up. On that occasion, they just couldn't get there quick enough, and in numbers, and he's so powerful and strong. He runs at Milford, he flicks the ball out the back, it goes to hand, and once again, they just find the right pass to the right man. He's too hard to stop, 5 metres out, and he gets the ball down in the corner.
Oh, there, that's going to hurt. I don't think there's an issue there with the bunker and an 8-point try, but you can see why Marju was wincing. Probably no coincidence their best period has come with Tanner Boyd, really adding some spark into this side, Shane.
Yeah, he's played a little bit of halfback and he's played a lot of hooker. He's a really smart player, he's powerful, and on that occasion just kept himself alive and come back around the play of the ball. He knows that David Fafita is more than likely to get that football away. Had good vision, and he got it out to his winger to score.
Well, Zarko made his first grade debut at this ground as a fullback for the Broncos in 2017. This would be very handy. A bad-looking kick. Oh, it's superb. 10 the margin. 10 the margin, 21 to play.
And we're talking about it, Dan, up here. Now they're back into it. The Newcastle Knights players are doing exactly the same. They're looking at the clock, they're looking at the scoreboard, and their mindset has changed. They need to go back what worked for them in the first half. Complete their sets, kick into corners, but the difference in the second half is the discipline. They've marched them out with penalties.
This game was in a slumber. It's started to come alive. 5 tries to nothing in the first half. And don't forget, it's that goal kicking which is looming large now. 5 tries to 2, but only 10 points the margin. The impact of Fafita is becoming apparent.
Just the presence of Fafita.
He draws in numbers, doesn't he, as Fodawaker now. And all of a sudden, there's an energy about the Titans. Boyd quickly away to Fafita. Yeah, 4 defenders again. Fafita facing the wrong way here. That was a good tackle from that quartet. Kelly. To halfway. Furmore. Down. Croker and Saifidi. Sexton. In end over end. And Hoy growing in confidence. He's been confident with those kicks from the get-go.
Yeah, not a bad set from the Titans after points. They marched 60 metres and then get a good kick on the end of it. Now they need to be disciplined if they want to play themselves back into this game.
Well, we might have a finish here, but don't forget it's off to Penrith as soon as we're done here at Bluebird Stadium. Dane Gagai really tried to impose himself early, and there's a very handsome run to get him to 40 metres out. Yeah, Penrith Roosters as soon as we're done here from the foot of the mountains. Penrith 14-1. But here's Milford now tucking in a kick, and it turns Marju around. Now Marju, here's a penalty. We've got a player knocked down here. It was Turner into Frizzell.
Challenge it if you want to.
Now this is an interesting moment here. It's not a gimme kick. In fact, we've got to get to the kick first because it's a challenge. But
Challenge. The Oddford ruling is an escort run from Paul Turner.
I believe the touch judge or the main referee has called that there's been an escort.
These are hard to overturn too.
Newcastle kick chase is onside.
On the outside, approaching Kelly.
Paul Turner changes his direction and runs Tyson Frizzell off the ball. The challenge from the Gold Coast is unsuccessful.
They're hard to overrule those ones. Change any type of direction, they're going to get there.
No more challenges, boys.
Newcastle Knights, I would think, would run this and won't take the shot for goal. But really smart play by Milford again. You know, the really good halfbacks, and, you know, going back in time, the Ricky Stewart, and at this stage, Andrew Johns kicking on the best play of the ball, and that was the occasion there. It was a beautiful, nice, quick play of the ball, and Milford didn't wait for the last tackle. He knew he could get it back down onto that try line, and he gets his side a penalty.
Well, I haven't been down here for a while, the Knights. They're up to the 10-metre line with a full set at their disposal. Yet to score second half. Here's Milford at the line. Now Clune for Barnett, cutting back infield. But straight into Fodawaker. Wallace over the top. Maybe game-defining this set. Sasung. Milford. That went back. Fortunate result for the Knights. Hoy. Going nowhere there. Off that ball hitting the deck. Sasungi playing it. Oh, Boyd all over Clemmer. 2 tackles left. Randall's kick. Now they might have a problem. Furmore ran into Daniel Saifiti, but the ref was right there, Butler, and doesn't seem to have a problem with it. 20-metre tap and a reprieve for the visitors. Yeah,
I think he might have ruled that the kick was going to be too long either way. He's made a non-call decision, the referee, and you've got to go with it.
I'm sure, yeah, Fuma had much of a role there. Anyway, we continue, and the Titans are off and running. Liu, got a spring in the step. Turner, just his 6th first-grade game, and he's just outside the 20. Isaac Liu. Wouldn't they love to overcome one of these deficits? They've given a couple away this year. A chance to get within 1 score. Boyd, Wallace, Sexton. That's off the hands of Clune. But it's called a knock on Gold Coast, and they haven't got a challenge.
It's a Newcastle player. What do you want it?
The challenges are done for both sides. This is going to be a fascinating replay.
I think he got it right, the referee. I don't think it touches a Newcastle player. I think he tries to pass it here.
Okay. But has that not gone backwards?
Maybe, Dan.
Okay.
Penalty.
Penalty Newcastle at the scrum.
Obviously the Titans not happy with the decision. Get a lip at the scrum.
The Knights now steady. See that win quite apparent. Been the case right from the get-go, favouring the Titans in the second half.
It's been a real aspect of the Newcastle Knights game. Is their try line defence. They haven't had to do a lot of it, but when they've been down there, they've been pretty strong. But defensively, time and time again, they just keep turning the Titans away, but it's off the back of the Titans' errors.
Tuala. Two bodies in motion there, but Tuala wrapped up. Sungy. Milford. Hoy. Now Gagai, one-on-one with Kelly. Kelly did well, but then Gagai got away. Sharp play the ball. Milford. Sasangi. On it goes to Clune. Trouble. Chance. Edric goes for it. I think he's got 4. Edric Lee has somehow got there. Although, hang on. We're going upstairs.
We have no try. Touchline, please.
All right, Chris Butler. He's a genius or he's a party pooper?
I know Edric Lee pretty well. If he scored 4, he'd be doing backflips.
All right, let's have a look here. Oh, it's the hand that's done him in. It's the other hand.
Just looking if he stays in the field of play.
So the right hand is the problem.
Oh, it's close.
Oh, hang on. You can't give this. Yeah, we're going to go simultaneous. He doesn't know Edric.
Just looking to see if Edric Lee's hand is on the ground or in the air.
I think it's on the touchline. Dan, what do you think?
You can't, I know we want to see him get 4, but you can't give him this. The longer this goes, though, the better his chances.
Edric Lee's hand remains up off the touching goal line, and he grounds the ball in goal.
Edric Lee joins Darren Albert, Adam McDougall, Andrew Johns, Aquila Uarte, James McManus and Cooper Vuna with 4 tries for the Knights. A club of 7, and Edric Lee joins it in somewhat contentious circumstances, but for the first time in his career, Edric Lee has 4.
Yeah, well, he didn't know if he got it there, and we didn't know if he got it there, but they made a decision that he did. It was beautiful shape out to the left. Adam Clune involved again, and some really nice patience. Tex Hoy gets the ball across the face again. And as we said, Edric Lee to the corner. Some nice football by Newcastle Knights, getting himself into this position to challenge for a try.
You cannot give that. You cannot give that. But they have. They have. And their pictures are better than ours, Shane. We're looking at a little monitor in front of us. I think they've got the 4K there at the bunker.
And
so
it's
maybe
in that
they
fast
see,
corner.
maybe they zoom in and they can see the blades of grass. There it is, club of 7. Well, he's got 14 and a half minutes to go out on his own. Have a Knights record all to himself. Edric Lee. He's Dolphins bound, isn't he?
He is, yes.
It's a good bit of experience that Wayne Bennett's picked up there. He might have a teammate in Anthony Milford. He's had a terrific night, Milford. So Tex Hoy's night with the boot looks like it's done. 6 tries for the Knights, just 1 conversion. Touchies, well, they didn't move, but it hit the post. They can't buy a goal. Doesn't look like it'll matter, though. 14 the margin, 14 to play. Let's go to Jake Duke.
There's the Chief celebrating Mark Hughes around for the Mark Hughes Foundation, Beanies for Brain Cancer, around great stuff they're doing up here at the Knights. But what about Edric Lee? Good to see him back in the NRL, scoring tries. What a tough run he had with injuries. Missed the most of 2021 with that debilitating foot injury. This is a guy that played Origin back in 2020, and as you mentioned, he is Dolphins bound, but back playing some really good football. And the Knights players said that he was always so calm, so happy to be back here at training as the kickoff goes short. But yeah, Edric Lee, great to see.
Yes, that's and that's with the win, that kick. So now the Knights can really put the foot down and finish the Titans off.
And I've seen that from North before, from the Titans. They go to the short kick off, the same person kicking the ball off, and it doesn't go to 10. It's unfortunate, but once again, they're going to be on their try line in a minute defending.
Swings and roundabouts this game, 22-0, 22-12, and now the Knights a chance for back-to-back tries themselves. Clune. Knights fans are delighted with the Clune-Milford combination. This is going to taste success for the first time. Now it's Milford. Bringing Gagai into it. Getting around Boyd. Straight into Wallace. Still inside the 20. They go away from Edric. Sasangi dishing off. Clemmer, another run. Getting harder to put down as the game goes on. That's his 16th run and 6 more tackles. Now Frizzell. Upended by Brimson. Fafita there to finish it. He's clean. The double pump. Milford, the Barnett, couldn't get it on. Great tackle by Patrick Herbert. And now Herbert gives 6 more away. Getting frustrated again, the Titans. There's Clemmer over the 10. He's delaying a line here as they open up the left. Rain now as heavy as it's been all night. Comes to the short side. Here it comes Gagai. Young, could he get a hat-trick? Young is, close. That'd be something. Hat-tricks on either side here. He's clean now, linking up with Sasani. Nice pass, Milford. Barnett overrun, so there's the kick. Edric coming through.
All momentum.
And it's a line dropout. Titans paused there thinking there was going to be an obstruction call go their way, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, it was Milford. He came around the back of his back rower and he realised he was going to run behind him, and he puts a kick in, just enough weight, and then earns his side a dropout. Newcastle Knights really quick into position offensively, know exactly how they want to attack from most parts of the field.
So that's a better kick and a better result, although we've got a lot of distance to cover. So as soon as we're done here, straight to Penrith. Rain's starting to become a factor here. It's supposed to be a miserable weekend weather-wise. It looks okay there from those pictures, but we'll wait and see. Panthers, best record after 15 rounds since Manly in the mid-90s. 14-1. And now Isaac Liu puts it down.
Yeah, it was a poor decision, poor shape. Jared Wallace tipping onto his front rower. Wasn't expecting it. He was expecting Jared Wallace just to jam it in and get some field position for him, carry the football, and he offloads. And now the Knights back into a good attacking field position.
Ooh, it's Sunny with a sharp run there. Then upended. That's a problem. That's got the Knights angry. There's Clemmer right in amongst it. He's furious. Now Sasangi's okay. He's now up. Just a tackle that got away from the Titans. 10th game of first grade, the young man. And Clemmer there. One of the alpha males that Adam O'Brien was talking about. So he might have got the high one from Liu, but then Wallace there, the protagonist.
Players got to be careful in this situation when a tackle like that happens. If he's injured and players running in, he could compound the injury. They should just stay away from it and let the referee deal with it. Easy to say.
It's a penalty here. We'll see what sort of action comes beyond that.
Thanks, guys. Boys, I want you on the 20.
As you said, Dan, the rain's coming down now, this last 10 minutes.
Let's see what we've got here. Butler looks very serious. Jared looks worried.
Jared.
He's in trouble. He's in big trouble, Jared. Jared Wallace has been sent from the field. And Dave Clemmer's about to get some action to go against him as well. So Clemmer may have been seen with a punch in amongst all that. But Jared Wallace gone.
Strike him, 10 minutes.
So it looks like we're going to finish 12 on 12. Dave Clemmer can have a nice early shower. But I don't think there'd be a single Knights player or member of the coaching staff that would have been upset with Clemmer racing in like that, defending his little playmaker, Simi Sasangi. And Jared Wallace, it's been a pretty miserable few weeks for Jared, and 3 runs, 26 metres tonight, and ends in the sheds, sent from the field. And Dave Clemmer, much better statistics from him.
Yeah, 17 carries for 166 metres and some real quality offloads. He's been their strength in the middle. Him and Clemmer.
Yeah, Knights want to rub it in now. They can inch out by 2 points, but why not get another try? It comes here to Clune. Where's Edric? It comes down to Tuala. Now then he realised, hang on, I've got Edric on my outside, but all too late. And that ends that for now. It is obvious, Shane, isn't it? They're trying to get Edric another one.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball over to that side. There's half an opportunity there. Just pushes it out the last minute, and Edric comes up with a knock on.
So Titans, well, they gave the fans something for a good 15, 20 minutes, but it's ended rather bleakly. They are going to sink to 3-13 and will stay last. Now the Warriors and the Tigers, and there is a bye involved there. The Tigers only have 3 wins themselves, but they've had a bye, so they're on 8 points with the Warriors. One of those teams is going to go to 10. Wooden spoon is starting to become a real possibility for the Gold Coast side. The club's got it twice in their history, and it will now be 6 consecutive losses. Remember, this is a club that made the finals last year. You dropped one not all that long ago. There's Barnett and Randall with a very good chase, but it's charged down and still the last tackle here, and that's the end of that. That just continues the enthusiasm of this Knights outfit. It's been evident right from the get-go. So here's the kick, which just ricocheted off Chris Randall.
Yeah, and they've been switched on to Toby Sexton doing nearly all the kicking for the Titans, and they get kick pressure on him and they get a charge down and get possession on the halfway line. But it was all the errors in the first half from the Titans. 8 errors. They lost it then. It was all over by half-time.
We've got a much-needed bye coming up. You'll certainly appreciate that, the Titans. And then they've got the Broncos at home on a Saturday night. For the Knights, they're back here next week against South. Now, they are Origin-affected teams. As it comes from Hoy out to Tuala. Hoy back in field. Daniel Saifidi. Strong in his comeback. Here it comes now to the lee side. Hoy, there it is. Here's Edric. He's got 5. Edric Lee, a night to remember. A rare club. Edric Lee joins 5 tries in a single game. The last to do it, Josh Adokar. He scored 6 against the Bunnies, but 5. We are in rare territory.
Yeah, and it's beautiful work. Tex Hoy, you said it in the first half, Dan, he's warming to the occasion and warming to his role in this football team. Obviously, Kalen Pong are out. It goes through Adam Clune to Tex Hoy, and Tex Hoy just seems like he's got all the time in the world and just picks out Edric with heaps of space around him. The ball goes over the top. The Titans are down to 12, but so are the Knights, and there's a little bit more space on that side, and Edric Lee goes in for 5 tries. What a great achievement for an outstanding player for a long period of time.
His best before tonight was 3, and that was 10 years ago. This is a great night for Edric. We've talked about his horrible run with injury. He was playing Origin in 2020, that November series, that COVID-affected series, and now he stands alone. Newcastle's all-time greatest try scorer in a single match. There's 5 minutes to go, Flano.
You never know.
There's 5 minutes to go. It's 12 on 12. It's an open field.
Well, I know what Tex Hoy and Adam Clune are thinking. Get into that field position, and we're going to shift to our left and see if we can get him 6.
Milford, finally a conversion for the Knights. They have scored 7 tries, 5 of them to Edric Lee, 2 to Dom Young. And Adam Clune, another star tonight. A lot to like if you're a Knights fan. Clune, Hoy, Milford, the forwards, Edric.
It's a concern for the Titans, but isn't it, Dan? Just there's no urgency, there's no passion. We talk about Tino, how good he's been. He's on the sideline at the moment, but the whole team is just lacking energy and passion and desire to get the job done.
Here's James Tedesco going through his warm-ups. He needs to be very, very special tonight. Penrith against the Roosters. That's fascinating with Joey Manu in the halves. Is that going to be the spark for the Roosters to get a run going into the finals? Be no bigger statement than if they were to knock off the Panthers at Penrith's home. But Newcastle not done. They haven't put the cue in the rack yet. Can they extend what is going to be a thumping win? Can they make it an even bigger win? Sassangi springs in the dummy half. Now it's Clune. Here's Milford. Now Edric a chance. Azarko does enough. Ball back to Tuala. Tuala to the 20. Takes the tackle. One tackle left. Edric perched on the wing. Comes the other way. The kick. Milford. And booted away for a line dropout.
Yeah, beautiful touch, Adam Clune on the front foot. They're going over the advantage line. The Titans line, lucky to get back to the referee. And he just puts the right weight on, and his halfback teammate, Anthony Milford, chases through, applies some pressure, and they get a dropout.
It's a dropout for now, and it looks like that's the way it'll stay. But the bunker will be looking at that.
Going to the 20.
Yeah, it does come out. So the bunker did have a look. Knights race up to their 30. So it was 22-0 at the break. So it does belie the final score, or what that final score will be, just how much of a contest we had with about 25 minutes to go. But it was a brief charge. And once the Knights steadied, he put this game to bed pretty quickly. David Fafita, what have you made of his return, Flano?
Oh, well, he's been strong. He's out there. He's trying really hard. But, it's like sometimes it's under sevens footy. Throw the football to the big kid and see what he can do, and he can't do it at this level. Sometimes they burn him out too much, but he's played some good minutes here and carried the football really strong.
So now it comes here to Fermor. Not far away from the kickoff at Penrith, and no commercials here. Fox Louis will be straight there, and obviously no ad breaks during play, but you knew that already. As now here's a strong run from Isaac Liu. His boy onto Esse, trying to crash his way to the line. And he got there but couldn't get it down. So you see those chips on the screen. The yellow, Dave Clemmer in the bin for 10. Jared Wallace sent from the field for a dangerous tackle. Fortunately, Simi Sassangi is okay. The man who was flipped over. Brunson now to Fermor. Swallowed up by the defence. And 6 more given away. The Knights in no hurry to have the Titans play it. And Liu has been busier in this last part of the game. Oh, Esse, and they steamed up. Here's Dom Young. It's play on, and it's all over. Dom Young, good chase coming from Marju, but Dom Young gets a hat-trick. 5 for Edric, 3 for Dom. A magic night for the Knights wingers, and an appropriate way for this game to end.
Yeah, would you believe it? Both wingers scoring a mountain of tries. They've been fantastic. Some really good play here. Dom Young, he just senses the pass, hits the deck, and he times his run, gets his body in between people. A beautiful pick-up. Has a look over his shoulder. He knows they're coming for him, but he's got enough speed there. He gets there. And a great way to finish for the Newcastle Knights. They've been way too good here tonight, right across the park. They won it in the first half, and they've just hung on their second half and got some tries late.
Geez, that's a good pick-up from Young. Just gets better by the week. Just his 18th first-grade game, and you touched on it early. His confidence was so low early in the year and had the drop season. Well, not now. He's really growing into first grade.
Yeah, well done, Adam O'Brien. He stuck with him. He knew what he had. As you said, he made some errors. He was poor under the high ball, and defensively, he just needed to adapt to the NRL, you know, and fit in with the Newcastle defensive style, and he has done that. And obviously tonight, scoring some tries will give him a world of confidence. With Joey Manu going to 5'8" in that next game, one thing I know, he's going to carry the football. He's going to challenge that defensive line. He's not going to be a ball-playing 5'8". He's going to challenge. He's going to run a lot. So it's going to be a big night out there for the Penrith Panthers defensively.
You like that move, don't you? There's the kick. There's the kick. 38-12.
I think it's a good move, obviously, with James Tedesco in the side, and he's a quality player, getting his hands on the football as much as the Roosters can, moving him to 5'8", gets it. Sometimes out in the centres, he doesn't touch it as much as you'd like for a strike player. Tonight, he's going to touch it a lot of times, and he's dangerous. We saw that in the Test match last week.
So they're not far away from a start at Penrith. We've just got this 1 minute to go here. So 5 in a game. The last few to do it. Addo-Carr, Johnston for South, Ikavalu. Remember that magical night up in Townsville for the Roosters. Alex Johnston again. He did it against the Roosters, also did it against Penrith, and Nathan Merritt. Then we have to go all the way back to Francis Melly. That was about 20 years ago. So it doesn't happen often, but Edric Lee, 5 tries tonight. And still full of running here, the Knights. Daniel Saifiti with 2 plays left after this. And they stack the left side. But it comes the open. So Sonny feeding it on. Thompson keeps it going. Milford, not quite. And that will just about do it. So no one will be in any great hurry here. With 10 seconds to go, the Knights have thumped the Gold Coast Titans. 3, 4, 5. Are they going to get the 6th in? No, it's all over. It's Newcastle's night. It's Edric Lee's night. It's full time, although Chris Butler's going to make us play one more time, one more play. Now it's all over. Full time at McDonald Jones Stadium. Newcastle 38, Gold Coast 12. Straight to Penrith with Warren Smith and Steve Roach.